when you're on, during this time, the COVID-19 coronavirus, people are sequestered in their homes, there's social distancing, it's a disruption in your life. And you're, looking on social media and ways to try and find out how to deal with this. And social media, Facebook, I know Facebook, and it's a mixed bag. Let's put it this way. It's a mixed bag. There's good parts to it and bad parts to it. One of the things that are wonderful is there's often people that listen to me, I'm sure, see spiritual messages from enlightened masters. This is an experience that gives you a feeling of love and light and happiness and peace, right? So that's a wonderful thing. But there's also messages that don't give you that feeling at all, quite the opposite. They give you a message where you start feeling fear, you start feeling anxiety, you start feeling confusion, you start feeling anger, and because those messages come from the ego. They don't come from enlightened masters, they come from egos. And this is everywhere, mainstream media, social media. These messages primarily come from the ego. So they don't give you this open feeling of peace and love and lightness, which you get when you read things from enlightened masters. So it's so basically it's a mixed bag, right? Even when you're looking, you're a spiritual person and a spiritual path and you're seeking, when you go on Facebook, you're still going to find these things that come from the ego, and they're going to affect you and your ego is going to latch on to those because it relates to that. Egos relate to the ego. Egos support the ego. Egos get a certain kind of nurturance from the ego, but it's a nurturance of unhappiness. It's a nurturance of suffering. It's a nurturance of fear, anxiety, and confusion, and sometimes pride. But still, they're not things that make you feel good. And I have one person that I've been working with for years, and she has been falling into, listening to things that are making her feel anxious and upset and concerned about things and not feeling this great sense of peace. And so I asked her, when you're reading these things, because she's was addicted to reading these things and kept talking about them. When you're reading these things, how do they make you feel? Very simple. How do they make you feel? What do you feel when you read these things? Do you feel a sense of peace and contentment and happiness, love and peace? Or something else? Or something that isn't that? And I think that really helped her, at that point she just could check and see when she read these messages, how does she feel? It's a simple question, but most people don't do that. They just assume that the world is going to hell in a handbasket and we need to find out all these things that are wrong in the world. And that's very important to do this. This is all the ego talking. And it doesn't feel good, does it? It doesn't feel good. So because we've done a lot of this, we've polluted our system physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. We polluted our system, polluted our bodies, polluted our minds, polluted our emotions, polluted our thoughts, polluted ourselves spiritually. In all ways by doing this. Of course, we've been doing this all our lives. Just watch any movie and for the most part it will give you this. Turn on the news and it will give you this. Listen to a politician speak. It's ego, ego, ego. Just presenting the ego, and it doesn't make you feel good. Even when they're making false promises, something in they're false. Ego, ego, ego. I mean, occasionally, rarely, you see something that isn't coming purely from the ego and you feel a little better. There's some encouragement there. But it's not the same as when you read the words of enlightened beings, is it? Because enlightened beings have wisdom. They're not lost in the ego. They have truth. And this is very important. So I want to offer you today something that I've been doing for 20 years in healing people. And originally I'd thought that this was something that came to me and I was the only one that did it. I didn't know that anybody else had ever done this before. It just came to me to do this as a healing, just intuitively flowed through me. But later I found out that Bodhidharma had done this thousands of years ago. Bodhidharma had done this to heal himself and to heal other people. That this is something that Jesus had done. And many, in Tibetan Buddhism, it's a practice. Many people have done this same practice for healing people, often from physical things, as I had done, healing them from physical things. But it heals you physically, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, and energetically. It heals you in every way. It's a very, very powerful healing thing, and very simple and very powerful. So let's begin. You may want to close your eyes with this because I want you to visualize this. I want you to imagine what I'm saying and really feel it, really be able to see it. I call it love and light because that's really what it is. So light is the visual manifestation of true love. White light, just pure white light, that so bright that it outshines everything that exists. And love is the feeling of that outshines everything that exists, this powerful, unconditional love. And this is something that is available to you, always has been available to you. And I know at times you've felt this before. So now let's work on this practice to allow this to heal you. Allow this to heal you. All you have to do is allow it, because it's always here for you. So begin by closing your eyes, and your crown chakra is at the very top of your head. I'm sure anybody that does yoga and stuff knows where the crown chakra is. It's just at the top of your head. It's the place where if you've ever had a baby, you know, you can see there's a little pulse of the heart. You can see breathing in the soft spot there. So the soft spot is the crown chakra, that place right at the top of the head. And as we grow older, the skull closes and it's no longer a soft spot anymore. There's a solid skull, you know, that had grown over that place. But in fact, it's always really open. It's always been open. And it's open to this light and love. It's open to this light and love. It's always been open to this light and love. And so right now, I just want you to allow it, because the ego kind of resists it. The ego is kind of a force that resists love and light. Even when it pretends it's looking for it, it's actually resisting it. So I'm just asking you to relax this a moment and simply allow this to heal you. Allow love and light to heal you. And so you can imagine it this way, beginning with the crown chakra. You can imagine that as you breathe in, that this light and love is pouring in to your body through your crown chakra, just pouring into your body as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, it's pouring in again. So breathing in and out brings it in. Breathing in brings it in, and breathing out brings it in even deeper. Breathing in brings it in and opens up, and breathing out allows it to come even deeper. So both ways, you're allowing this to come in, allowing this light to pour into you. So in the beginning, it's filling your head. It's filling your head, this love and light, completely filling your head, your brain, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your skull, completely filling your head. And it's healing in its own way. It's healing in its own way. You don't have to direct it how to heal. It knows far more than you do what needs healing in you. So trust it. Allow it to come in and heal you. It's love and light. Why wouldn't you trust this? Allow it to come in and heal you and just surrender to it. Surrendering to it allows it to come in. Because it always wants to help you. It's always here for you. So allow it to come in and fill your head. Whatever needs healing there, it will heal. If you have a migraine headache, just allow it to heal that. Allow it to heal it. And allow it to keep flowing. If there's nothing to heal there, it will keep going down into your body and heal whatever needs healing. Allow it to go into your neck. If your neck feels a little stiff and there's a little pain in your neck or your shoulders, it will heal that. It's very simple how it does it, because you're bringing love to a part of your body that you haven't been loving. If you have a pain, stiffness in your neck or in your shoulders or some pain there or in your head, most of that pain comes from your resistance and your lack of love for that part of your body. When you love it, and this is love, you're bringing attention and love to that part of your body, and there's no resistance there anymore. Love is the absence of resistance. And that means physically that the small arteries that have been closed off from resistance are now open and blood is flowing there. Healing is flowing there from your own body, because you've closed off that resistance with love. Any immune system will go there. It's not resisting, it's not closed off, it's not tight, it's open to heal. And so your own body will heal itself. And this love is also doing that. It's bringing something extra. Don't worry if this stays. As I talk about it moving through your body, it doesn't have to move to this in the same speed that I'm talking. If it needs to stay in one place, just allow it to stay there and do its work. It knows what to do. So from the shoulders and the chest, allow it to move down, lower into your body, into your stomach, your abdomen, your back, into your small back. Allow it to fill your arms, your forearms, your hands, your fingers. And as you can see, as this love and light is pouring through you, there's so much of it, it doesn't have an end to it. It's infinite. So it's pouring through you. And as it fills you, as it fills your hands and fingers, you can feel it like moving out of you. Filling you, yes, but spilling out because there's so much of it. Spilling out into the world. And same as it fills your abdomen and your back and your lower back, you can feel it filling you. And filling you so much that it's just spilling out of you into the world. And what's it doing when it does that? It's healing the world. It's healing other beings. It's healing you and it's healing other beings. This is what it does. This is its nature. And as it keeps going down into your hips, into your groin, whatever needs healing, it heals. Whatever needs love, there's love. Whatever needs relaxation and the end of resistance is here. And as it continues down through your legs, remember, if it stays on one part, if it's still in your head, that's fine. Let it do what it does. Let it do what it does and stay where it is, and let it move in its own pace, in its own speed. It's up to this to do it. You're surrendering to it. You just let it do what it does. It doesn't have to follow what I'm saying. If there's not much to heal, it will move through you quickly because it's there. It'll heal whatever little there is to heal. If there's a lot to heal, it will focus on that spot until it's healed. And as it continues to move down through your legs, your knees, your calves, your shins, if there's any stiffness, any injury or old injuries there that you've kept with a little bit of stiffness there, it will release that. Love and light will release that into your ankles and feet. And as you feel it in your feet, you can see that it's spilling out into the ground, spilling into the ground and healing the earth. When it fills you completely, it's just spilling out of you in all parts of your body, spilling out, filling you still, so you become love and light. When you're purified, when the spiritual house cleaning is done, what's left in you is love and light. You're a body of love and light. Your body is love and light. Your thoughts are love and light. Your being is love and light. Your emotions are love and light. It's all love and light. There's so much of it that it fills everything. And it fills out to the world, because you're not separate from that. So it's healing other beings. If there's beings that you know, that you've had any, that you know are suffering in some way, just your thought of them will send this love and light to them. Just your momentary attention. Oh, I know someone that needs some help. That's it. That's all you need. And it will go to them and begin to heal them. You don't have to tell them about it. Just allow it to happen. Anyone in the world, anywhere in the world, it will go to them. It doesn't have the limitations that we think of limitations. This is your divine nature self. So you could say, really, that this is you. This is the true you healing you. The true you healing your own body. Your true being. This love and light is your true nature, your true being. It has infinite wisdom. So much more than the sum total of all human knowledge is not even scratching the surface of what this knows. So this is why it's okay to trust it. It knows more than we do. And yet it is what we are. We know more than what we think we do. Now, people who know me feel a transmission of great love often when they're around me and wonder, about this. And I've written a book about it. A lot of it comes from doing this practice. And in my own life, I don't really think about doing practices for myself. But because I've done it for hundreds of people in helping them heal, it stays in me. It stays in me. So this whole experience of love and light, because I'm doing this for others, is my experience. It heals me in this way. When I heal others, I'm healed. Every time I heal someone else, I'm healed again, over and over again, and with everybody who's healed. Anybody who wakes up around me, I wake up again, over and over again. And this practice is so beautiful. I made a video of this a few years ago. I'd never done it on video before. It was like an experiment. I'd done it with people in person, but never in a video that someone would watch at some point after, in time after I made the video. And it seemed to work very well for people. And a few people wrote me that they'd actually woken up just from doing this practice. And why not? Why not? That's the ultimate healing, is to wake up from this dream, from this illusion, to wake up from suffering completely. So no matter what is happening in your life, there's no more suffering. Because this is your nature. Love and light is your true nature. And when you open to it with your mind, your imagination, to allow it to come in and to surrender to it, you're actually surrendering to your own true nature. That's what's healing you. In a profound way. Physically, yes. Emotionally, yes. Psychologically, yes. And spiritually, absolutely. This is a spiritual house cleaning, and I felt it was a good time for this, for you, because many people are suffering with this. Many people are suffering in many ways. And some of social media, it's a mixed bag, as I said, is contributing to this suffering, not healing it. You're not going to find thoughts on social media, for the most part, that are going to heal your suffering, that are going to relieve your suffering. Not when it comes from the ego. You have to know what you feel. When you feel peace, love, and light from a message, when you just feel this, whatever message that is coming is good for you, is beneficial to you. If you don't feel that, if you feel anxious or angry or that, it's not beneficial to you. This is not helping you. This is not healing you. This is not your true nature. And it's not the true nature of the person who's giving the message. And most people, as you know, do not live awakened lives. They're lost in their egos, lost in suffering. This is true of mainstream media. This is true of alternative media. This is true of conspiracy theories. This is true of everything. True of the weather on news. You know when you've encountered an awake being because you feel good. You feel really good. Because your good feeling is your true nature. Your nature is not to suffer. That's your conditioned thoughts. That's your ego. That's a dream. That's an illusion. Your true nature is to feel love, light, peace, happiness, bliss, freedom, wisdom, true wisdom. That's your true nature. And when you don't feel that, you know that something is distracting you from your true nature. Something is not true. Something is artificial. Relative truth, yes, it can be more relatively true than another relative truth. But how is that really helping you? You know by how you feel. And hopefully when you feel this practice of love and light, this spiritual house cleaning, you feel wonderful. You feel love. You feel light. You feel this great peace. Now, depending on how much healing and house cleaning you need, it may take a while. You may have to practice this. And you'll have access to this video to practice it over again, as often as you need to, until you don't need this video anymore and you can just do it on your own. Because you can, of course. This is just teaching you how to do it. Opening you to something that's always here. Because this love and light doesn't just come because you're doing this practice. It's actually always here. It's actually always filling your body. Actually always filling everything. Filling the entire world. The universe. The universes. It's completely filling everything always. Using your mind and your imagination, you're allowing it to come in. You're not resisting it anymore. Because without knowing it, you have been resisting it. That's why you have illness. That's why you have suffering. Because you're resisting your true nature. You're resisting the true nature of life. And when you do this practice, you stop resisting it. You allow it to come in. And it's fine if you think, you're doing this as if it weren't here before because you hadn't been experiencing it before. So it seems like it wasn't here before because you haven't been experiencing it before. You've been distracted and resisting it unconsciously. Now you're not doing that. You're allowing your being to be this love and light. You're allowing love and light to fill you because it has always filled you. But your attention is now going to it. Your attention is now open to it, and you can see it. You can feel it. So do this practice often, my friend, until you're embodied as love and light, which is your true nature. But when you know it, this embodiment will spill out to everybody that you're in contact with and help heal them without you saying a word about it. Because it's their true nature too, even though they don't know it, just as you didn't. Thank you, my friend. Much love and blessings to you. And I hope when you feel this, you realize that you don't need love from anyone else. As this love and light fills you, fills your chest, fills your heart. If you feel lonely or feel a lack of love or your heart is broken, that will heal. You'll realize that this love is always here. It's always here. The feeling of loneliness is only a dream, an illusion. How can you feel lonely when you are love itself? When you're not separate from a single other being? This loneliness is an illusion. You're always complete. And this healing will show you this. Your direct experience of this will show you this far more effectively than anything I can tell you. Your direct experience. And this is about your direct experience, isn't it? You feel love and light. You allow love and light to come in and you feel it. And it works on you and you feel it. And you feel the results. That's the proof of it. As much as we can talk about science in regards to this, there it is. It works. You're healed. As I was fortunate to see in hundreds of people being healed right in front of me. Not that I need that, because when you feel this completeness in you, this great wisdom in you, you don't need any verification anymore. This is truer than any verification ever could be. But it's nice to have it too. It was nice for me to have it as well. It made the process of awakening a lot easier to see this external verification happening. Anyway, this is a beautiful practice to do. And there's another video on the YouTube channel, The Enlightened Way, my YouTube channel, on this practice of love and light too. You can use both of them, whichever works best for you. Thank you, my friend. I hope this serves you well.